Harm reduction, I don't believe in harm reduction as a philosophy, because basically that's an enabler.
The evidence is clear. Harm reduction measures save lives. Some 46,000 overdoses have been reversed since 2017. We will continue to trust the science.
I asked them, would you ever come to Toronto again on your own? And they said no. Wow. And it's mainly because of the area that they visited.
You are doing this in... Get your microphone out of my face. Get your microphone out of my face. Get your campaign. You guys are hateful.
It's not good to promote it. The fact that your drug use is not the best solution, right? But it's still going to happen no matter how we like it or not.
The number of deaths, the number of overdose deaths that have happened in this country, and in British Columbia in particular, where the policies of this government and the NDP are most advanced, are up by 300%. Those deaths were 75% lower before these policies came into place.
You would have think they would have thought of a better location. Don't blame the drug addicts.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in downtown Toronto. And folks, this is a story about whether the City of Toronto has its priorities straight, whether the City of Toronto subscribes to common sense or outrageous wokeness. And I say that because, for starters, behind me, this is a so-called safe injection site. And as you can see all around me, there are the clients of this safe injection site. I would argue, especially if you were a single woman walking the streets around here, there is nothing safe about this territory. And incredibly, just across the street, mere meters away, that is Yonge Dundas Square. Literally the town square in the city of Toronto, right across the street from the Eaton Centre, another huge tourist destination. And when it comes to a sense of failed priorities, what does it say that the city is going ahead with a multi-million-dollar rebranding of Yonge Dundas Square? Evidently, Henry Dundas, who was an abolitionist, his sin was he wasn't a quick enough abolitionist, so we must change the name of this square that the majority of Torontonians don't want to see happen, of which there is no money to do this. And what's more, if you speak out against the name change, you are a racist. But in the midst of a tourism destination like Yonge Dundas Square, soon to be called Sankofa Square, a mere block away is this, a so-called safe injection site. And when you walk around, you see people, they're lost souls, really. They shouldn't be, I don't think, enabled. They shouldn't be given a path down to further their self-destruction. Maybe what they need is help. Maybe they need intervention. Maybe it's about going cold turkey.
We have to look at harm reduction. We have to support treatment. And we also have to make sure law enforcement has the tools that they need to ensure that those who use drugs aren't recriminalized and are directed to safety and health services.
And our ability to save lives, our ability to use science and harm reduction and safe consumption as ways of trying to get through this is, I think, the right path.
Perhaps what we need is what we see in Alberta, tough love, where we get people off the streets and get them clean and sober instead of enabling them to live out the rest of their lives as drug addicts. Now, to signal our outrage about the so-called safe injection sites, we have deployed our beautiful Jumbotron Billboard trucks. It is basically carrying out our campaign, fixourcities.com. That's fixourcities.com. Folks, if you can go to that website, and if you're able to, make a donation and sign our petition, because we don't think a safe injection site is a sign of a functioning city. We think that is a sign of a dysfunctional city. So again, fixourcities.com. Thank you. I don't think there's anything safe in terms of enabling drug addicts. Also, there is a cluster just to the north of me here. And one of my security personnel pointed out that he observed a drug dealer coming by to do a drug deal. Do you feel safe or comfortable walking past here?
Honestly, no. And I'm teaching right now, so we have a bunch of students here visiting from Italy.
Oh, yes.
So it's not the best look. But in the morning time, I don't feel so safe because it's not too many people out. At nighttime, obviously not.
It's probably better to have a safe spot to do it than not do it at all. Because I mean, if you look around here, you can see, if we pan the camera around, everywhere, they're all around, right? And I mean, people are going to use drugs no matter what.
But,
not true.
Aren't you kind of making the point, sir, of those who oppose these sites? Because you're right, just a few meters away from the safe injection site, we see people doing drugs, we see people selling drugs.
Yeah.
So how is this solving the problem?
It's not good to promote it. The fact that drug use is not the best solution, right?
Okay.
But it's still going to happen no matter how we like it or not.
Do you take drugs, sir, right now?
I was born on drugs. Okay. So my mom smoked heroin. Well, she had me. So I'm very
Sorry to hear that.
I didn't have a choice in the matter, right?
What do you think about this safe injection site, sir?
It's a great place, but it was a bad location.
That's interesting. That's a lot of people.
Great place. The staff is very professional. It actually helped me because it gives you half an hour to get away from a lot of the chaos and charge your phone.
We're not for profit, and we test for hepatitis C.
Okay, then. And I guess HIV too, according to the
We have HIV test kits that are provided by public health that we offer as well.
Okay, then. And what is the goal to, if someone has Hep C or HIV, you somehow
the
get...
has a mandate to end hepatitis C by the year 2030, and we're part of that mandate, as are many other teams.
No, you know where they need money right now? They need it in detox centers. They need it for fentanyl. They need medical detox centers desperately because nobody can get in. People who are at the point of desperation with the fentanyl addiction, they continue to use because there's nowhere for them to go and get help, like realistic help.
Well, ma'am, how do you feel about the city of Toronto? They seem to have millions of dollars to carry out a name change of Yonge Dundas Square, which, as far as I can tell, very few people want. Why not put that money into these? Okay.
They have millions and millions of dollars. The government is infamous for wasting money, okay? They're focusing on the wrong things because they're not comfortable. It's not sexy. Addiction's not sexy. Okay. This place isn't sexy. I'm not going to get reelected here.
When we publicize and publicly use drugs, it's more likely that somebody is going to be revived, right? Like somebody's down right now. Like literally, I have that. Hold on, David. Yo, bro. You okay? Yo. Drooling. David. Get up. Didn't get up. You good?
Clean injection sites definitely serve a good purpose because they offer a clean injection place for people to go. They have resources in there for them to tap into. There's a phone. They can get their mail here. So they can keep in contact with the outside world, right?
And folks, you want to know a telltale sign of a city in decline, sometimes because of putting safe injection sites right in the hub of a tourism destination. Right behind me is a Tim Hortons, and I can tell you it's different from what it used to be, which is to say the washrooms are closed. It is a takeout facility only. This is the second Tim Hortons in a row I've come across. The other one was at Spadina and Bloor. The tables and chairs are gone. The washrooms are locked, takeout only. And it's because disturbed individuals come into the bathroom, they become campers there, they basically ruin it for everyone. So we are having a city where even as a customer of a restaurant, you cannot use the lavatory. How sad is that?
Site is a private property and our security manager doesn't want to record that site.
Oh.
It's fine over there. This is city site.
What's the line? This here? Or? Okay then. So I'm just curious. I'm not trying to give you a hard time. If it's private property, we see a lot of people who are drug addicts or hanging outside the Tim Hortons. I mean, I feel badly for the franchisee. I mean, do you guys enforce the Trespass Act when it comes to drug addicts? You do?
we are not allowed to say anything right now on your channel because we are in a uniform, right?
Oh, okay.
So
All right. We'll stay on the sidewalk. To me, it seems irresponsible to put a facility like this in such a concentrated area, such a tourism-focused area. What do you make of it?
I mean, 100% I agree. Because again, like I said, I have some students here visiting from another country. And that's one of the things that they mentioned is that, like, they mentioned like being in this area. And I feel bad because I asked them, would you ever come to Toronto again on your own? And they said no. Wow. And it's mainly because of the area that they visited.
The idea of having this facility at a,
right by university is maybe not the best solution because now what we're I agree with that. But again, we have to realize that at the end of the day, drugs are going to be used no matter what, right? Okay. That's what I personally believe is that we're not going to have a perfect system where people are not going to, like 100% no one using it and 100% everyone like. There's never going to be, the balance will be in the middle where it will be used no matter what.
So what is the worst thing you've ever seen happen here?
Oh, just someone get all their belongings taken and their shoes taken off their feet, pretty much. But I've seen a lot of bad stuff in the last 5 years being homeless. But it's just, you would have think they would have thought of a better location. Don't blame the drug addicts.
If they wanted to really help the addicts, when they built this place, they would have put a fence all in here for privacy, because people stand here day in and day out using and smoking, and when you're a tourist and you come here and you look from there, it's an eyesore, okay? The Ryerson, it's an eyesore. But if they had done that, then it wouldn't have been such an eyesore. It's happening regardless, okay? It would have changed the public's opinion, okay? The other thing is you have City TV right there. Not once have they come over with their microphone and asked anybody any questions.
I quite frankly don't feel that safe here. We're outside an icon of Canada, a Tim Hortons franchise, and just imagine what this franchisee is going through to run his business. For example, what we just saw off camera is a family of 4 on Dundas. They were looping north on Victoria to go to Tim Hortons. They saw this little gathering here. They stopped dead in their tracks, had a discussion, and did a U-turn. I don't think this is good for business.
I'm new to Toronto as well, actually.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from America. I'm from Texas, and I just moved here about a year ago. And I will honestly say I was very surprised because I live just like a couple blocks from here, and I didn't know it was going to be all of this.
Not everybody who's an addict and homeless, I'm not homeless, but not everybody who's an addict and homeless is like a piece of shit that people have in their mind. They come from somewhere. They don't sprout out from the ground, okay? They have a story. They have a past. And you'd be surprised some of the people that you meet when you start to talk to them what their stories are. It could be your child. It could be you. It could be your neighbor. It could be anybody that ends up here.
That's undeniable, but at the end of the day, do you think places like this are helping these people?
They're helping people, yeah. They're keeping them alive. Because people OD all the time. And if there wasn't a place like this where staff would come out and give them life support, then yeah, they would lay there and die.
This is not a client of the safe injection site. This is an employee. He interrupted our report to slam us. And then when we asked for his side of the story, he said, do not put this on the internet. I don't want to talk on the record. Well, that doesn't work. We're a visual medium and we want to get the other side of the story. But your tax dollars hard at work, folks. So folks, from Young Dundas Square in downtown Toronto to East End Leslieville, we are now at the South Riverdale Community Health Centre. Don't let the name of this place fool you. This too is a safe injection site. And the reason why we're here, it was a year ago this month that Carolina Hubner Muckarat, a mother of 2, was actually murdered when a couple of drug dealers got into a gunfight, if you can believe it, in broad daylight. You see, that's one of the other problems of these safe injection sites. Where the addicts show up, so do the drug dealers. And it's a cliche, isn't it? Drug deal gone bad. And this beautiful mother of 2, she was murdered in broad daylight. And yet this facility keeps functioning. What's more, get a load of this. In the aftermath, 23-year-old Kahila Zara Mohammed, she was charged with being an accessory after the fact and obstruction of justice in relation to the shooting What's more is that Miss Mohammed was an employee here. So the allegation is it was a bit of an inside job with the drug dealers. Miss Mohammed was featured in a glowing CBC News report a couple of years ago in which she advocated for more drug use. Gee, I wonder why that would be. Now, if you can imagine, folks, the sickos who run this so-called safe injection site, they launched a promotional campaign in the aftermath of the shooting, and I'm not making this up. There was a poster here that noted, quote, "Got Sharps? Want chocolate? For every full Sharps container you return to counterfeit, we'll give you a chocolate bar," end quote. Now, counterfeit is a harm reduction program for women. I guess they don't care about harming children, do they? Who in their right mind would have a program enticing children to get chocolate bars for picking up shoe boxes full of Sharpies? This is beyond gross and irresponsible. It's downright dangerous.
You guys are disgusting.
Why are you saying that, ma'am? Well, you came up to us, ma'am.
You are doing this in. Get your microphone out of my face. Get your microphone out of my face. Get your campaign. You guys are hateful. You don't have any understanding.
Really? Where's the empathy for Carolina Muckarat?
I don't have any.
You don't have any?
Who the you are?
Wow. The woman that was murdered, you don't have any empathy for her?
Yes, that's right. Are you kidding me? No, I don't have empathy because you guys are don't know anything about these issues. You are...
Okay, educate us.
No.
Who are you, ma'am? Who are you?
I'm a resident who cares about people who are suffering.
You care so much that you tried to damage my microphone.
Pretty soon that won't be all I damage.
Oh, is that right? Is that a threat?
That's right.
That's a threat, is it? Wow.
You guys...
That's not very ladylike, ma'am.
Is that a joke?
Huh? Oh, why is that a joke?
Joan, you try and tell us what is ladylike.
Oh, okay.
Can we call the cops on these guys?
Oh, what would the charge be, ma'am?
Well, you're illegally parked without a ticket. You're illegally parked without a ticket.
Oh, that's a police matter.
Call somebody, please. You don't want them here. Call the police? Yeah, can we call the police on these cops?
Those two women could be users at the center. They might be employees, or maybe there are just people who live in the community. But if they are, I would argue that is the statistical anomaly. After all, Leslieville, this is a neighborhood that it is in transition. It is getting more gentrified as the years go on. Why, oh why, would you want such a place in such a nice residential and business neighborhood? And certainly the biggest crime of all happened last July 2023 when Carolina Muckarat Hubner was murdered in broad daylight. And yet, do we see any accountability? The CEO of this facility, that would be Jason Altenberg, do you know, folks, he makes over $150,000 a year plus benefits? Has he even uttered an apology, a statement of regret over this? No, he oversaw that ludicrous Needles for Chocolate Bars campaign. And also, in the department of There's Plenty of Blame to go around, where is Doug Ford, the premier, on this? He has the power, I understand, to shut down a facility like this. Come on, Doug, step up to the plate, do the right thing, do your part to help fix our cities. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. We've started a petition called fixourcities.com. That's fixourcities.com. We're going to pressure those in charge to help clean up our litany of broken cities and towns right across our great dominion. Sign the petition, and if you're able to, kindly make a donation.